Go ahead and start recording. All right, so thanks for getting on tonight, guys. I'm going to kind of wing it tonight. I did want to touch on one thing really quick. Not sure if you've noticed there's a new recognition system, which is called the Leadership Ladder. And I think Beachbody is going to start kind of gearing their recognition a little bit more towards that now, simply because it touches on a bunch of different things. It's not just Success Club. It's not just rank. It's not just one thing. It's basically, I'm going to do a screen share really quick. And it's taken me a while to actually kind of learn it because it's different. You know, we're so used to doing or the same stuff, you know, the same recognition and all that, but learning to, let's see, Leadership Ladder. So this is, try to make yourself familiar with this as you continue to grow as a coach. There's the Business Starter, which is commission of $100 per month. Success Club 5, being a coach or above. And that's basically what you need for Business Starter. And then the Team Builder is your Emerald or above, Success Club 5, and you're making $250 a month. And your week leg has a total volume of 200 per month. And then you can just kind of go through and look at the different ones. And basically what it's gearing towards is helping your team. So once you begin to build your team, you're going to want to kind of look at this and see where you stand each month. And we're going to kind of do a more recognition towards that along with Success Club and rank as well. But this is something that I think that Beachbody is really trying to, you know, recognize people that are helping, they're actually making income. You know, if their weak leg is producing a certain amount, then they're making income. So that produces you like to grow within the organization. I know it's confusing. It's something totally new. So just kind of get yourself familiar with it. Charlene Booker did a team call on it, so I can post it in the team page. I was going to actually do that for tonight, but I didn't want to bore you to death, even though it's very important. But make yourself familiar with that. All right. So let me close out of that. Close out of that. So I can see you guys again. I can't see you right now. Okay, I can see you now. All right, so tonight we are going to talk about a vital behavior that's not actually a vital behavior. And I'm not sure why it's not. I guess because I don't want vital behaviors to be so many different ones that you can't focus on the very important ones. But one that is very, 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 very important, to stress that enough, is the follow-up. Okay, so following up with people is, what they say, what fortune's in the follow-up, and it's so true. So when you're having conversations with people, if they fall off the conversation, it's so normal. Don't take it, you know, as they're not interested in what you have to say. They're not interested in a challenge group. They're not interested in whatever. Life happens. You know, we sometimes look at a message and intend to respond to someone, and life happens and we just don't. So I'm going to do another screen share. I'm going to do a couple screen shares tonight, but I'm going to do a quick video. Actually, where is it? I had it. Coach Caleb had one. That's the one I wanted.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach Caleb from EpicEveryRep.com. Yesterday, I had a conversation with someone about following up. I answered their question, made a note about the conversation in my planner, and wanted to follow up with you today about it. In this training, I'll cover the why, what, who, when, how, and where of following up. Okay, let's do this. Number one, why do we need to follow up? Because sometimes you just have to ask twice. Sometimes people accidentally forget to respond to your message. Sometimes people hesitate when they're not sure of your motives. All of those details aside, when you follow up, you remind, show you're legitimate, express to the person that you're serious, and immediately make it clear that you're a professional. A large part of your success with your coach business will be in the follow-up. If you choose not to follow up, you're going to miss a large percentage of your opportunity to help you. Number two, what do I need to be good at following up? An organized system. If you're talking to a lot of people out there like you should be, your memory will not be able to keep up. Lots of people use computer calendars, schedulers, automatic emailers, and other systems, but I like to keep things super simple and personal. I actually write down my follow-ups in a daily planner with a pencil. Writing down my follow-ups. So random. Number three, who do I follow up with? Simply, I think you should follow up with anyone you had a genuine conversation with, business related or not. When I follow up with people, it's not always about business. It's honestly just because I care about them and I want to be a part of their life. Having babies, going on awesome vacations, getting surgeries, or even experiencing a death in the family is just as important as any of your business will ever be. Coaches are people. Number four, when should I do my follow-ups? Good question. This one's a tough one to answer. If I make a business-related invitation, I make a detailed note in my planner to follow up in a day or so, a couple days after that to make my second follow-up, and a couple days after that one to make my third and final follow-up. It honestly all depends on what you're talking about and how the conversation goes. Some conversations fly and some move really slowly. Use your people skills, read the conversation, and make your best judgment. Number five, Chad's fingers. Sorry. How do I actually do the follow-up? What do I say? For the first follow-up, keep it simple. Hi, John. I wanted to follow up with you about what we talked about yesterday. Did you give it any thought? Looking forward to hearing back from you. For the second follow-up, hey, John, I haven't heard back from you yet, but I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any questions I could answer. As soon as you're able to, let's talk. I want to make sure I don't miss the opportunity to work with you. Talk to you soon, man. And for the third and final follow-up, hey, John, I just wanted to reach out one final time. You must be super busy, but I just wanted to let you know that we'll all be here whenever you're ready to jump in with us. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Keep in touch, dude, and then you move on. Okay, but how do I know if I'm being too pushy? Where do I draw the line? Again, I use a 3 follow-up system. But if the conversation tells me that I don't need to make a third or even second follow-up, I don't. I draw the line. Love and support them just like you always would as a real friend, but don't test them. Bless them and release them. So that's how I do it. I hope this quick lesson helped you guys out. And if it did, I totally...
All right. So... I like that one a lot, although I do think that stopping at 3, I wouldn't stop at 3. Not necessarily, sorry, I want to show you something else. Not necessarily continuing to talk about Beachbody, but just checking in with them and like life is just, whatever is going on in their life. How are you? I saw, you went on vacation, like just keeping contact with people as a follow-up. And I'm going to show one more screen share before I kind of go into another. Is that? Okay, this is like one of those things that when I've seen it several times and it's so true. 48% of people never follow up with a new prospect. 25% of people make a second contact and then stop. 12% of people make 3 and stop. Only 10% make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Really? 2%. So that first initial contact you have with somebody, most likely is nothing's gonna happen with it. 3% are made on the second, 5% on the third, 10% of sales are made on the 4th contact. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So if following up is important, it's super important. And again, it's not, are you going to join my challenge group? Are you going to buy your challenge pack? It's just putting yourself in front of the person over and over again, just, checking up on them, seeing how they're doing. Are they even just like simple things like how's your energy level? How are you feeling? Just simple questions, but continuing to message the person with a genuine message, not buy from me, why haven't you bought from me yet, but this right here is super eye-opening because we give up right here. So many times we give up right here when that's, the likelihood of someone actually following through with their initial, interest is unlikely. So you have to continue to follow up. So that should be a vital behavior. So it doesn't have to be something you do every day. I'm going to kind of go through how I feel that initial conversation with someone. So maybe you made a post on Facebook about a challenge group, or maybe you made a post about, the opportunity, or you messaged someone and they were interested. They were really interested. You could tell they were interested, but they had a little bit of doubt. Obviously, there's always going to be a skeptic. And they don't, right away say yes. So from there, you have the conversation with them and say, okay, you're not, you haven't made a decision yet. That's okay. No worries whatsoever. I'm going to follow up with you. You come out and say it. I'm going to follow up with you XYZ. I'm going to follow up with you on tomorrow at 7:00, or I'm going to follow up with you 2 days from now to give you time to figure out if this is something you want to do. So you're already telling the person that you're going to follow up with them. So it's not a pester. You're not going to feel like you're pestering the person when you follow up with them, because you've already told them you're going to follow up with them. So you're making an appointment with them, and you're actually staying true to your word of the follow-up. So when you do follow up, they already know you're going to follow up with them. So once you tell them that, schedule it. Like Caleb said, however you want to use the scheduler, if it's on your phone, if it's pen and paper, a calendar, a list, however you want, create a system that's good for you. I use my calendar, which is not in front of me, it's downstairs. But as soon as I have a conversation with someone, I'll tell them 2 days later or whatever, I'm going to follow up with you, see if this is something you want to do. And I mark it down on my calendar so I know to follow up with them. And she wonder if she needed to raise her hand. Okay. It's the first time I've seen that. Zoe raised hand. Did you mean to do that? Okay. All right. So when you go into your follow-up, simply just go in like, hey, I just following up with you, like Caleb said. I'm following up with you about what we talked about the other day. I was just checking in to see how you were and if you were still interested in the challenge. Okay, so, or the opportunity or whatever your conversation was. And, if they don't get back to you, because it's likely to happen, we know that we get crickets all the time. It's nothing new. So if you're experiencing that a lot, we all do. So don't feel like you're alone. Simply, mark it on your calendar, they didn't get back to you, and then maybe the next day or 2 days later, go back and say, hey girl, hey, whatever, I was just thinking about you, I saw you had posted blah, 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 and I wanted to see how things were going your way. And then eventually you're going to get back into the conversation of what the initial conversation was, most likely. Again, if they don't respond, that's okay. Go back to them later and say, we are actually starting this challenge group on XYZ date, and I know you were interested at one point in time. I'm not pressuring you whatsoever, but if you are interested, I wanted to let you know that this is a cutoff date, and if not, then I can move you to, our next challenge group. If you're interested, then I can follow up with you at a later time. And again, if they don't respond, then continue the relationship with the person. Don't give up on them. Just, continue to engage in their different posts and that sort of thing. But very, very important to just say, if this is not for you, no big deal. Do you happen to know someone who might be interested? Because I'm really interested in helping people with their health and fitness. So this is when you can ask for a referral. Do you know if you're talking about the coaching opportunity, do you know anyone who's interested in helping other people, with their health and fitness? And, I'm no big deal if this isn't for you at all, but I am looking for other people who are like-minded, blah, blah, blah. So don't be afraid to ask for a referral if that person's like, yeah, no, this isn't for me. No worries, really. We're cool. We're still friends. I still love you. Like, whatever, let's move on. And continue to check in with that relationship. Just because they don't join you or you join a challenge group, continue to check in from, here and there and like make a note, like, I want to see how you're doing, just saying hello. And so I got this book and I posted it in the group, and so far it's okay. I'll be honest, it's okay. I'm not learning too much from it, but there was the referral one that kind of caught my eye. Let's see, what else was there? Yeah, so I posted in the group, if you did buy it, it's okay. It's not wonderful, but it did open my eyes and, say follow up. It's so crucial. And you know why? Because I can look back on so many different conversations I've had with people. One of our newest coaches, who she didn't get on the call, she's wanting to go very slow in her business, which is fine. She's really busy, but we literally talked for 2 years before she decided to sign up. And it was just, us just going back and forth, like checking in like every other month. At that point, I wasn't going to check in with her every single day, for 2 years, but just, hey girl, how are you doing? I saw this was going on in your life. I know you were interested at one point. Have you thought about it anymore? And it was just, with that and challenge groups, this book did say, if you do have a promotion, somebody was interested in a program at one point in time, and now it's on promotion, you can go to them and say, hey, I know you were interested in 21-Day Fix Extreme at one point. It was on promotion, then it went off, but it's back on. If you're interested, I'm going to start running a new group, following up that way, just keeping a running list of people you've talked to. It's so important. I remember when I first started coaching, I was going through a boot camp, and one of the coaches said, you're going to talk to a lot of people, so you need to keep track of who you talk to. And I'm like, I'm not going to be talking to that many people. But you're going to forget. People are going to fall through the cracks. So know that if you're not keeping track of who you're talking to, people are going to fall through the cracks. You're going to forget about somebody, not intentionally, because obviously you care about them and you want to help them. But if you're talking to enough people, you're going to miss someone. So keeping track, whether it's through a calendar, an app, a pen and paper with a list, but just making sure you are following up with every single person you've ever had a conversation with about anything, challenge groups, opportunity, free group. If you've had a free group and you've had, 5 people in the free group, keep talking to them, just saying, hey, how'd you enjoy the ab challenge? Do you want to do my next ab challenge? You rocked my ab challenge. Are you interested in maybe doing the opportunity? Like constantly having conversations with people that have ever been interested, that you've ever had conversations with. Super, super, super important. So don't forget the people you've had conversations with. And I think there was one more screen share I wanted. Is that it? And I did some some YouTube searches of different ways to have different systems and stuff. This was one that Julie Schulte had said in our challenge or our boot camp when I first started. She used an index card system. You simply purchase an expandable folder numbered 1 to 34 and stack of index cards. When you tell somebody you'll follow up with them, you take an index card out, add all of their contact information and what you're following up about. So you're actually putting all this stuff on an index card. And then decide when you'll follow up with them next. Refile a card under that corresponding number. So that's kind of one way to do it. The calendar system, electronic, obviously with the app. Yeah. So it's just whatever's going to work best for you. Uh-oh. How do I get out of this? Lord have mercy. Okay. All right. So Anybody have their best practice on how they do their follow-ups, how they schedule them, how they keep track? We're all different ways, are better for different people depending on what's going to work best for you. But let's see. All right, so use calendar. Awesome. Okay. Calendar is good. And I know some, other coaches on National Wake Up Call had said something about, when you're first talking to people and you're messaging them, make a list too, and like make sure you go to their page, find out what they're doing, keep track, like show interest in what. Okay, I didn't realize Yolanda was on here, and Nicole. And okay, I'm gonna get to y'all in just 1 second. So keeping track of the people you're talking to and showing interest when they're posting, and caring about what they're doing and showing that you're caring and like posting and interacting with their posts, because it's, not only are you building a relationship with the person, but it shows that you care about other things than just the sale, right? We don't want that. I mean, a lot of network marketing is that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's building a business, but our coaching business is a relationship business. So making sure you are engaging outside of just that message. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. Asana. Okay, so Yolanda and Nicole both use Teamzy. I know Yolanda is super obsessed in a great way. I don't know if you want to talk about it or not for a second. If you don't, that's okay. But Teamzy, do you want to for a second?
I don't know how to work this, but am I talking?
Yes, you're good.
Oh. Okay, so I mean, I don't know a whole lot to really share other than I know that for me, the follow-up process, the keeping track of who I'm talking to always gets lost in the sauce. I mean, every single time, because there's so much on Messenger, whether I'm on my phone or email or whatever I'm doing, I kind of forget who to talk to. That's just me, forgetful. I'm, got a lot of things going on. But Nicole actually told me about Teamzy, and what it does is it really is, I think it's a CRM, they call it at work or something, a customer relationship manager or something like that. Anyhow, it's Beachbody based, so you keep track of how many invites you have. If you've invited someone, you can keep track of that. You can cut and paste your messenger, so whatever you've talked about in Messenger with this person, you can plug that into Teamzy by just cutting and pasting it, or via email, phone call, whatever you've done, you can actually do that. You can make notes against that person. So if they say, don't call me here or there or whatever, you can actually just track every piece of conversation, every piece of information from their email and everything. And what you do is just basically upload your customer list from Beachbody. You upload your Facebook contact list. You can upload Google and some other stuff that you can upload all of your contacts, and it actually does mark them as a customer if they're on your Beachbody list. So you know that they're customers. You can actually mark your coaches, your personally sponsored versus regular coaches. And then the follow-up system is basically, as you talk to this person, you can either, if you told them you're going to contact them tomorrow, you can use a drop down and say, contact them in a day or 2 days. And I know they just had an upgrade, or they have an upgrade coming where you'll be able to actually mark a date on the calendar versus 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, or so on. I think and then after that, there is an actual default follow-up, which is 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. So you rank your people. So let's say I'm talking to Julie, and I think that she's a prospect. So I mark her as a prospect, and I can rank her from 1 to 5. If she's a 5, every 30 days, she's going to wrap around to me automatically. And it's going to show me who's up next, and I just contact that person. If it's a 1, then they probably won't come around at all versus, the number of stars. And they have a set system as to how many times it's going to come around to you. And then when you're ready to follow up with someone, then you can follow up. The good thing also, I know I can talk about this for days, sorry, but you can set your goals. So if you have, let's say you want to make $160,000 this year, that's your goal. That's my goal, but that's your goal. It will calculate how many people, how many prospects, how many coaches, how many customers that you need to reach out every single day and give you like a dial to let you know that you've actually reached those goals that day. You also have your side checks, so your vital behaviors. You have to check off your Shakeology, your workout, your personal development. All of those things are listed on the side. And then it gives you a graph as to how well you're doing. So, I call myself taking off on a weekend. I can see my graph go high and then go low. And if I'm just steady at a certain pace, I can see that too. And you don't have to stick with the number they give you. You can always go over or you can change it. But again, you can also set your invites as well. Did I invite them to the business? Did I invite them to a free group? Or did I invite them to a challenge group? Then you can also set up groups. So if you have a challenge group going and you need to check up on your people, you can say challenge group ABC. I need to check up on these 5 people and throw those same people in a group so they'll rotate a little bit faster. So they have a lot of things going, but it's all Beachbody related. So, and as they keep going, they'll begin to enhance it more to help us as the coaches. So I really like it, but it is $30 a month.
So it's not an app. What is it called? I mean,
it is actually a website. So it's a full website, but you can still access it from your phone, and it is mobile friendly on your phone as well. So if you have text messages that you want to pop in there, then you can do that too by cutting and pasting in there.
Awesome. And I know you said that if we had how many people on a call that they would do
a demo, 20 people. It have to be 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's really working for you. So,
yes.
Yeah. So that's an option if, and Nicole's wanting to chime in too.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then can I say one last thing? I know, I'm sorry. But I will say this. I'm always nervous about talking to people. I'm so scared about talking to people. But because it's feeding you that information, if you just talk to them just because it's people that you don't want to talk to, but if you just do it, then just do it. Just say hi and then move on. It's over. It's said and done. But anyway, okay, I'm done. Bye.
I just wanted to say she is obsessed with Team Z. I'm just going to let you know.
Well,
she
her
is.
volume shows it too.
Yes, she's obsessed. She's obsessed with numbers. If she doesn't meet her mark, she's complaining. But it is $30 a month, but you do get a free trial for 30 days. You don't have to give a credit card number or anything like that. So I would suggest people use it at least for 30 days and see if it's something that they want to use. And they can invest in their business. Come tax time, it's a write-off. But at least do the 30-day free trial. It's really a great tool.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I'm obsessed with, like, looking at the online office, and I'll be like, what the heck? What is Yolanda doing? And I'm like, boo, she's like, Team Z. I'm like, oh, God, okay. Something's working. So that's a testimony. I keep seeing in the 5-star group, people like posting, what is this Team Z thing? Like, people are like starting to like catch on to it, like really saying this is really, really awesome. So it was a Beachbody coach at one point in time.
He is a Beachbody coach. He was actually, he still is a Beachbody coach. He doesn't get paid or anything off of it, but I think he was a realtor. And this is something that they used. So when he became a Beachbody coach, he said this would be a great tool. And then I guess he reached out to some friends, and then they created it specifically for Beachbody coaches. So, I mean, you can use it anywhere, but it is for Beachbody.
And they did reach out to compliance. It's compliance.
It is approved.
It's approved, everything, so it's definitely something to think about if you're wanting some sort of system to keep you continuing to talk to people. Because I know sometimes it's ripping a Band-Aid off to actually do these messages to people. I know Jen and I sometimes will like message and say, okay, today we're doing 30. Rip the Band-Aid off. Because once you get started, and you get a momentum, then you're not ripping the Band-Aid off every single day. Ow, okay, ugh. It's, all right, I'm laser focused right now. I'm going to follow up with 30 people or whatever, or talk to 30 people or whatever. And not trying to sound insensitive when I'm doing this, but I'm just saying, like, just talking to people, and then that way the rest of the week you're not feeling like, here I go again. I gotta, talk to X amount of people or whatever. But I still do think the vital behaviors is every single day. But if you're wanting to do in waves, then that's one way to do it. So go girl.
Yeah. Okay. So I really do think that this is a great tool also just to get your power hour in, because I know for me sometimes, I get on and I may say that I'm looking, and then I start kind of scrolling through Facebook, and then I'm like, okay, I worked. But at least if, like Yolanda said earlier, you can set your goal for whatever that is, 50,000, 20,000, and it will tell you exactly how many things you need to do per day. So for me, I think my goal was maybe like 150,000, and they break it down to a daily basis. So I have to speak to 9 people per day. I think maybe like follow up with my coaches, check on my customers. I can't remember those numbers, but I know I have to make 9 daily contacts. So, I mean, it's just a good way. You go in, you know what you need to do. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't need to figure out who you need to contact, because Team Z, like Yolanda said, that you actually import all your contacts from Facebook. You can do it from your emails as well. And then you contact, lost my train of thought. That's what happens when you get old. It does. It happens to me all the time. Sorry.
You're not old.
So, right. So then you just follow up with them. It tells you exactly who to follow up with.
That's amazing.
So, right. So you're not contacting the same people. You contact 9, and then you have the following day, you have people who to contact that you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you. Very, very
You're welcome.
for sharing that. And I know some of us, and I've had conversations with some of you that are like, okay, I want to invest in my business. What do I do? Do I do this training, this training, this training? I'm looking at Chalene Johnson potentially doing the academy. I'm not really sure, but this would be something that if you did want to invest in your business would be awesome, because it's literally doing the action work. So $30 a month, first month free. Let's see, the math of the year. I'm not a numbers person. Can you tell? 30 times 12. Okay, $360 for the year. Tax write-off. If you're going to bring in the number that you put in there, if you wanted $100,000, $360 is not bad. Not trying to promote it. I'm just saying that's just something to think about. If you are wanting to invest in your business, not trying to tell you to do that, but eventually you probably want to do something investment-wise, tax write-off-wise, and to help grow, because, events and trainings and anything that's going to help push you forward in your business is definitely something you want to do. So something to think about. Let's see. What time is it? 8:33. So let me think if there's anything that I missed. Just, literally, I can think of so many people that have fallen through the cracks throughout the past 3.5 years because I didn't have a system, in place, and I, feel like it is crucial. And then, just showing people that you do care. Okay, you did buy a challenge pack, so I'm never going to follow up with you again. Really? Really, you need to still contact the person and show that you still care about their well-being and their health and fitness and life, and just saying, hey, I was just checking in with you to see how you were, and continuing to do that with people who ever showed an interest in getting healthy, because the timing's not always right. They think it is when they first contact you, or when they first post underneath your comment or your post or whatever, but something might have happened. Maybe their child got sick and that month was just completely deterred. They could not commit to doing a challenge group, or they had a rough patch in their job and that just wasn't the priority anymore. You never know what somebody's going through. So don't give up on them just because they didn't decide on the first 2 or 3 talks. Continue to check in and continue to show that you are interested in them, and then the follow-up. Eventually, I can't tell you how many people decide that, okay, now is the right time, and thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for continuing to check in. So now that we have 4 vital behaviors with recognize, recognition, still think the follow-up needs to be there too. So anything else? Sneak peek Monday. Starts Monday. I think I'm going to do my post tomorrow and do an event, public event for the sneak peek. So obviously we always encourage you to invite as many people as possible. This is like a very gentle way to share the coaching opportunity with people that you think would be awesome. So just, low pressure. Hey, like inviting to sneak peek is super, in my opinion, is low pressure. So just saying, hey, we're having a coach sneak peek in our team, and I thought you might be interested, or you've shown some interest in the past, or you're rocking my challenge, or you would be amazing because, just like to add you to the group if you're okay with it, to see what this is all about. Would you be okay with that? Normally people are going to say, okay, whatever, sure. And, from there, I feel like it's an organic group to where, once you add, it's a very positive environment. People get to know our team, and we usually have a pretty good outcome. So get your invites out there, and let's see what else. Anybody have anything else? No? All right, let's get a picture. No, gosh. So real quick, I cheated on Tony Horton. I cheated on Tony Horton yesterday and today with Autumn. And I'm so sore. My butt and my legs. I'm like, Autumn, what the heck? It wasn't even extreme. It was 21-day fix. I'm like, I can't even walk. So I'm super wobbly, and I'm super sweaty during this call. So anyway, I don't know why I didn't share that, but I just had to share that I look a little rough. Jen Hayes, you're in 3 pictures. You see? There's you, and you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a couple, and I'll count this time. I know the last time I caught everybody off guard. So on 3, I'm going to take pictures. So everybody smile. Yolanda. Like, hey. All right, one more. Nicole, I can't see your face. There you go. Okay, yay. All right. Well, thank y'all for getting on, and I hope you got something out of the call. If y'all want any specific topic for next week, let me know. I'm going to try to get a guest speaker in the next couple weeks. I'm not sure when or who, but if you're, needing some help with anything at all. Hey, cutie. Let me know if you, again, I've posted this before, or said this before, if you ever want to host or help co-host a call, then let me know that too. So you're not tired of me talking all the time. But all right, again, thank you for getting on. He's not shy. I think he needs to host our call. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you guys, and have a great rest of the